I woke up in the same flower field as the last time I had a dream of some sort. It was the same flowers that were blowing in a gentle breeze that slowly swept through the field. I felt anxious because of what happened last time, but I just looked around with wide eyes. There wasn't anything I would have considered dangerous, so I started walking through the path in between the patches of blue and purple flowers. It was a small path, and it seemed to go on forever. I must have fallen asleep, so no point in freaking out. I walked down the path as the slow breeze blew through my hair across my face. It smelled like violets and lilies. It was almost calming in a way. I closed my eyes for a moment to take it all in. A smile formed on my face. This is nice. Kokichi! I jumped at hearing my name. I quickly turned around and saw Shuichi some way down the path. He was waving his arm, the motion silently asking me to slow down so he could catch up to me. I slowed my pace to a stop as he ran over to me. He caught up with me and he wrapped his arms around me, pulling me into a hug. I put my arms around him and nuzzled into his chest. He rubbed my back, making me sigh, and leaned into him more. Kokichi, I was looking for you everywhere, but this field is so big it took me forever to find you. I'm glad I did, though, he whispered into my ear, making me shiver. I'm glad you are here, Shuichi, I whispered back, tightening my grip on his back, not wanting him to let go. I heard him laugh a little before he sighed and put his hand in my hair. Want to walk around? He asked, pulling away slightly so he could see my face. Yeah, that'd be nice, I said, grabbing his hand and taking my place by his side. We walked in silence as we walked around the field. There was nobody else in sight, making me feel safe, that it was just me and my beloved. I smiled while I looked down at his hand intertwined with mine. This wouldn't be the reality I'm in if I took my life all those times I tried. I'm so glad I got to make it to this day, where I can be with my beloved Shuichi like this. I feel so happy. I never thought this would happen. Whenever I tried to get attached to someone, they always left because I was unlovable and repulsive. I was always alone, but with Shuichi, I don't feel like that anymore. But that's why I'm so worried. I'm worried he's going to leave me, that he'll find out sooner or later that I'm not a good person, and he will leave me like all the rest of them. I felt a tear roll down my cheek, making Shuichi stop in his tracks. What's wrong? He asked, putting his hands on my cheeks, gently wiping my tears away. I leaned into his touch before I sighed. I'm just worried that you're going to abandon me, I whispered, more tears falling out of my eyes when the words left my mouth. I will never leave you, even if I'm saying this when we are in a dream. Know that Shuichi is holding you tightly right now as we speak, he said, making me blush. I remember what happened yesterday. I don't want to remember, but knowing Shuichi stayed by my side and is holding me tight right now as I'm sleeping, it makes me feel safe. He makes me feel so safe. When I'm in his arms, when I feel his hand in mine, when his gentle voice fills my ears. I smiled at the Shuichi holding my cheeks. I felt so happy. I've never felt this way before with anyone. They all didn't listen to me and brush me off like some bug. Shuichi hangs on my every word. He almost remembers more of the things I have told him than I do sometimes. I love him so much. Sometimes it hurts because I'm smiling so much. Thank you, Shuichi, I said before hugging him again. I love you so much, Kokichi, he said, petting my hair, almost making me fall on top of him from the shivers it sent down my spine. Me too, I whispered, closing my eyes again. The darkness behind my eyes didn't seem as dark when I had Shuichi beside me. I would never want to be around anyone because of the fear of being hurt by them tossing me aside. Shuichi always makes me feel like I'm the only thing that matters to him. The only one that matters to him. I woke up and saw Shuichi's chest right in front of me. I slowly moved up on the pillow and looked up at his face. He was fast asleep. He looks absolutely adorable when he is sleeping. I moved one of my hands so I could brush it over his soft skin. I ran my thumb over his closed eyes, then his cheeks, then his lips. I smiled and placed a small kiss on his forehead before settling back into his chest, listening to his heartbeat while his soft breathing filled my ears. Shuichi, I love you. I said softly into his chest, letting the happiness I was feeling form a smile on my face. I love you too, Kokichi, he said, moving back slightly so he could see my face. I blushed, knowing that he heard me. It didn't matter that I said those words because he already knows that, but it's embarrassing when you think someone is sleeping and they respond to you. He smiled and placed his hand on my cheek and gently caressed the surface of my skin. I just sighed and moved closer to him, leaning into his hand, taking in all the affection I could get. Thank you, I said into his hand before I placed a kiss on his palm. Why are you thanking me? He asked, looking me in the eyes. Because you do so much for me. You make me feel so happy, Shuichi, I said, closing my eyes briefly. Of course, anything for you, Kokichi, he said gently, rubbing his thumb over my eyelids while they were closed, before he moved his hand to my lips. I blushed and looked up at him. He was smiling, and he was looking at me like I was something rare, making my blush deepen. How is he such an angel? He slowly moved his hand away from my lips, making me whine from the loss of contact before his lips were placed on mine. I jumped a bit at first because of how sudden it was, but I soon relaxed and kissed back. It was a gentle kiss that was almost too sweet for me to handle. Soon after that brief moment, Shuichi slowly pulled away and placed small kisses all over my face, neck, and shoulders. I giggled every single time his lips touched my skin. My blush calmed down a bit, making my cheeks a light pink instead of a dark red. Hey, Kokichi, he whispered after he placed a kiss on my ear. Yeah? I said, letting my voice trail off. It's almost 8 a.m., so the morning announcement is going to go off soon, he said, looking at me, studying my face. Okay. I'm going to go get a change of clothes, I said before flinching when I tried to get up, because of the events that took place yesterday. Shuichi immediately became concerned and wrapped his arm around my torso. I'll grab you some clothes, okay? Just don't hurt yourself trying to move, he said before he got off the bed and wrapped me in the blankets with a kiss on my forehead. He moved over to my closet and grabbed me some clothes and walked back over to my side. He helped me get up and change. I blushed at this action, but only because it was unbearably cute how he was helping me. Okay, do you hurt anywhere? Do you want me to get you some painkillers? He asked, looking extremely worried, making me flush. No, I'm okay. I think I should just take it easy today, though, I said, looking down, feeling guilty about what I did yesterday. I was too weak to be able to resist him again. I sighed, not wanting to cry right now. It's okay, Kokichi. I understand, he said, getting up to change into the change of clothes he left in my room the day before. Sorry, I might not be able to do much today, but you can just go hang out with someone else today if you don't want to just be cooped up in my room all day with me, I said, trying not to cry. No, if you need me to stay by your side, I will. I wanted to stay with you regardless, so let me be with my Kokichi, he said, making me flustered again. Yeah, I said with a blush on my face, silently cursing at myself for stuttering, but the cute look on Shuichi's face made me smile. How have I gotten so lucky? Ding dong, bing bong. It's now 8 a.m., Monotaro said through the monitor after it abruptly turned on, making me flinch. Yeah, it's time to start another day, Monofian sighed before the monitor shut off with a click. Well, I'm going to get you something to eat. Do you want to come with me? He asked, looking at me with concern all over his face. I said, trying to think of how to respond. I don't want to have to confront everyone after Kaito's outburst, but I also didn't want to be left alone here. I can help you walk, he said, grabbing my hand, giving me a supportive squeeze. Okay, I'll go with you, I said, squeezing his hand back. All right, he said, standing up and putting his arms around my waist, helping me stand. I flinched a bit at first, but quickly adjusted to the feeling. I gave him a nod and slowly started to make it out of my room to the dining hall.